So we are gathered here today to celebrate the marriage of Emma Walter and Matthew Orbain. So there have been many hours poured into the planning of this wedding. I'm sure it felt like the long nights and long to-do lists would be never ending. But now you're here, and all of your efforts have brought you to this beautiful day. Matt and Emma, could you please turn to your respective bridal parties? The friends and family you have standing with you today have been there for you through your relationship and for many of us, much longer. They are also going to be there for you as you move forward in your marriage. You'll be able to depend on the bonds you have formed and the loyalty you share between such a close group of people. I hope these few moments stick with you forever. As wedding days seem to be done in an instant, these feelings should stay with you for eternity. So now for the actual ceremony. You've gathered us all here today because you have found the person that you want to be your partner for life. After deciding on the first date that you wanted to see where things go, you both worked to get to know each other. You learned what each other liked, how each other lived, and what made each other fall in love. I'm sure many nights of board games with friends also helped to expose some of those true colors. In time, friends became more, and you're here together now, deeply in love, and ready to start the next chapter of your lives.
So, my name is Jess Davidek, and Emma is one of my best friends. I actually knew Matt first, and will be forever grateful that he brought Emma into my life. What some of you may not know is the story of this relationship is a story of love at first sight. Not between Matt and Emma. The love at first sight that I'm referring to was the love between me and Emma. Now you two and your family of puppies and kittens live in Virginia Beach, and I live exactly 819 miles away in Florida. So while Emma and I are apart, I have some advice for you, Matt. When Emma asks if you want ice cream, the answer is always yes, always. The best days are filled with ABBA's greatest hits, sushi and bubble tea. And if she has a bad day, Ratatouille is guaranteed to make it better. I love you both, and I can't wait for the lifetime adventures we will get to share together.
How do you sum up a friendship I've had with my brother for almost 30 years? Where do you start? I mean, we did everything together. Even after all these years of being on the same wavelength, the one thing I feel like I could never keep up with him on was his love for food and his continuously tasting the world around him. But I think that's actually what sold me on these two, if I were to be honest. Now, don't get me wrong. Emma possesses a myriad of qualities that I admire. However, it wasn't until us three were on our way towards two of our wonderful friends' weddings, how you guys doing, Tyler, Jess, that I knew that this was the perfect fit. Now, Matthew, again, being the nibbler, was always the hangriest of all of us in the family. An hour couldn't pass by without at least a bite of something, or there would be immediate atmosphere change, complaints, or a car stopping. But upon the start of Matthew's rumblings and vocal ululations, I turned from looking out the window to the sound of 2 or 3 Tupperware containers popping out from Emma's bag containing pierogies. I then see her pull out a fork, skewer one of these pierogies, and start feeding him while he's driving, immediately soothing and quieting him. I think we actually made record time to our destination. That level of compassion and preparedness was unmatched in my eyes. It was at this moment I knew he found somebody that fully spoke his language on all levels. So today, as these two start their lives together and continue on in the world, I want you to know that, Matthew, I love you more than you'll ever realize. You will always be my best friend, and no amount of heated Secret Hitler games will tear us apart. I'm excited what you guys will be able to carve out for yourselves in this world. You are a smart guy, and you have yourself one hell of a woman by your side to see through it all with.
Emma was the girl across the street for 20 years and one of my oldest and dearest friends. We've shared good times and bad times, successes and failures, and even the same friend group throughout those formative years, which is where Claudia Walter, Emma's mother, held a huge presence in our lives. Claudia had always said, "I'm watching you girls, and I know what you're up to." Claudia's passing left a hole in all of us that can't be filled. She counseled us and nagged us, and much to our dismay, did her best to keep us on the straight and narrow. And those words come flooding in, "I'm watching you girls, and I know what you're up to." I know she would have been so proud of you, seeing the woman that you've become today. Please raise your glasses in remembrance of Claudia Walter and know that she's watching over all of us tonight.
After today, you go back to the everyday. You go back to the pets who still believe they're the center of the universe. You go back to the dinner dates to get sushi or she crab soup. You go back to the days spent between two friends. The one night you'll be watching a movie together and it'll dawn on you that you're sitting next to a spouse. At breakfast, you'll be looking across from your wife or husband. These days are truly the days that bring you together, the days that solidify a marriage. Do you take Emma to be your lawfully wedded wife? Take Matthew to be your lawfully wedded husband, to be her shoulder in times of need? Do you vow to encourage her when she needs a push? Do you vow to reassure him when he needs steadying and forgive her for any mistakes? Do you promise to support him completely, love her every day, love him every day, and be her best friend as long as you two shall live? And with that, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great honor that I officially present you Mr. and Mrs. Orbain.